Well, when I was 14 years old, my father, he used to take me to movies, my late dad. We used to go to movies together. And still at the age of 14, I was fine to go with my dad. And he said, "You want to go see this movie, Carrie?" And I said, "What's it about?" He said, it's about this girl and John Travolta's in it. Oh, okay, I'll go see it. John Travolta's cool. I still have not recovered from seeing Carrie, the movie, which was one of the most frightening movies I've ever seen. And I don't think I slept for a couple of weeks after that final scene. But Noel Hannibal and In the Wings production is bringing Carrie the musical to Montreal, mainline theater, May 5th to 14th, not precisely every day during that time, but you'll check their website for the details. Noel is joining me now, along with cast members Frankie Cobalt and Jonathan Vanderzon. And so Noel is not only the director, but she's also playing Margaret White, who's Carrie's terrible mother. And Frankie is playing Carrie, the frightening Carrie, and Jonathan is playing Tommy. Now, Carrie was played by Sissy Spacek in the movie, and Tommy was played by William Catt, and they're all alive. Those people. They did another movie on Carrie. I did not go anywhere near it. So Noel, tell us, why did you decide to bring Carrie the musical? And you've told me off air that it's not as frightening as the movie that we saw. Why did you decide to bring this to Montreal?
Just a couple clarifications. I just want to make sure everyone knows it's In the Wings Promotions, just so you know how to find us. And I'm not the director. Nadia Verrucci is our director choreographer. I'm the
Okay.
producer. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. So you talked about when you first saw Carrie. I was 8 and I went to see it with my older sister who's 18. And when we got home from I wasn't afraid of the movie, but like The Exorcist made me laugh. I've never been afraid of horror films. My sister, on the other hand, slept on the foot of my bed that night because she was afraid that if she went into her own room, Carrie's hand was going to come up out of the floor and grab her.
Yeah.
Um, Flash forward, then there's the Broadway, the infamous Broadway production that shut down after 3 days. I saw the off-Broadway revival, which was in 2012, and it was the stripped down story, more based on the book than the film. So it was the stripped down story of somebody who was pushed to the brink, somebody who was relentlessly bullied and abused and pushed to the brink. And that resonated a lot with me. I fell in love with it. I couldn't get enough of listening to the cast recording. And I told myself that, the day I was old enough to play Margaret White, I was going to play Margaret White. So very selfish reason for deciding to do this show, but it's a dream role for me, and I couldn't be happier with how everything is going in this incredible cast that we've assembled. Our team, our production team. I mean, it's my first show where I have a set designer. We're growing, Mike. We're growing.
Well, that's great to hear. So first of all, Frankie, now we're going back to the movie. You told me that your parents had you see that movie that terribly scary movie at a young age. How old were you?
Okay, well, I was 9, and it doesn't really get that scary until, it gets scary, right? And so my sister and I were looking at each other the whole time, being like, this is not, we're fine. This is like totally not scary. And then, well, it was scary, and it took like maybe 3 or 4 weeks for me to be able to sleep again.
Understood.
But it's still it's a movie that stuck with me for a really long time. Um, I think being weird is something that, like Noelle said, a lot of theater kids uh, understand. Um, I have trouble hiding my emotions, and how I feel, and it's a vulnerable thing to have your emotions on your sleeve all the time for people to see. And I think that Carrie is a vulnerable character because, like, it's just everybody's always at her, and I didn't realize how bad it was until, like, you're doing every scene and it's just this poor girl gets beat up on all the time.
Yeah.
like all the time, and it's like exhausting acting that, and so actually living that in real life is just so overwhelming. And I think that I have a lot of respect for her, and I kind of saw that in the movie when I was younger, and I think that's why it stuck with me, but I really feel it now today doing this production.
Well,
Yeah.
well explained. Jonathan, what about you? When did you just saw Carrie recently when you got the role, right?
I did. I'm a big fan of the horror genre, especially the 70s, 80s, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Exorcist. So I've always loved the genre, but I had never seen Carrie. And I've seen so many pop culture references to it without even knowing. And once you know where the hand comes from and where the bucket comes from, it all the pieces come together. But it's a fantastic book, fantastic movie, and fantastic play.
Well, Noel, we're not going to see any hand out of the grave because that was, that's the actual book. Okay.
The
So in
book.
the book, we don't see the hand coming out of the grave.
We do
So
not.
I presume that seeing it as a musical is a lot more fun than watching the horror flick.
I mean, fun. Like Frankie said, you're seeing this girl get beat up and abused and bullied pretty much in every scene. So there is that aspect. But yes, there are a lot
I guess
of
I should have said less frightening, maybe not
less
fun. You're
frightening.
correct. So
Yeah.
less
I'm sure.
frightening because
Yeah.
there's music and so on and so forth. But yes, no, you're correct. Not fun seeing someone get bullied, and bullying
Yeah.
is so common in our society right now.
Yeah, the music is so great. Dean Pitchford and Michael Gore, who composed the music for Fame, are just they know what they're doing, and these songs are earworms to the nth degree. And what Nadia is doing as far as staging and choreography, it suits the piece. It's not like, hey, we're putting in a tap dance number now to, sing about Carrie. Like it is very effective for the piece that we are doing, and we are approaching it in it is a very serious piece. So we are approaching, it's not a musical comedy, that's for sure. There are comedic elements. There's the class clown character and stuff like that, but really it's a serious piece with really great music. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great production. Welcome back. Let's hope everything goes well. And in the body of this video and in the article in the Suburban, we'll have all the details on how people can get tickets. But if you want to shout it out, Noel, how can people get tickets to this show?
They can either go to www.inthewingspromotions.com or to www.mainlinetheater.ca.
Okay, sounds great. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mike.
All right. And I think I'll sleep well tonight, though. All right.
Good.